There's a bunch of tweaker shit here. A lot of little foilies. Of course, that's the way a lot of people do it. They smoke it. But if you look, there's more here. More foilies. And more trash. There was a man who was there all day long, yesterday and today. He's gone. We've gone by 2 decent-sized tweaker piles. And now we're getting to a bigger one. Now, of course, we've got the difference between the tweaker piles and the average garbage. This right here, this is average garbage. Somebody went and got some beef links, and of course, they didn't feel like throwing them away. Figured just put them on the ground. Now there's the gentleman here who's going to help me. His vehicle's still here, but doesn't look like he's here, just his dog. So it don't do me much good to go over there. There's a couple more tweaker piles over here, but I'm not going to go to them. And the big one, there's a gentleman sleeping there, so since there's somebody sleeping there, I don't want to be filming him either. But the pile there is, well, if you could figure, it's about 10 times the size of the other 2 piles. This is what happens when people are forced into these conditions. We all have to deal with this, every one of us. We all have to deal with these drug addicts and the messes that they make. And the fact that, well, these people make it dangerous for us. They also make us targets for the public. The people out on the streets would not be out here if they had families who cared. It goes for almost all of us. Almost. Some people are just completely horrible. And there's no guarantee that if they had a good family that they wouldn't be completely horrible. Because it seems to me most horrible people, it comes from having no connection whatsoever with their victims. Like, sure, getting beaten down in the moment is scary as fuck, but 20 years later when you're beating on your fucking kids, that's far removed, isn't it? When your kids say, hey, stop beating on me. Well, my dad hit me and look how I turned out. That's right, look how you turned out. That's exactly it. Look how you turned out. Some of the kids I went to high school with tell me about how their parents beat on them. And of course, 20 years later, their kids are grown up and complaining to me about their parents beating on them. I got a much bigger voice now. I've got a platform to speak. But people want to destroy my voice and destroy all evidence of me trying to get help. They want to destroy evidence of how they treated me when I tried to get help. My dad didn't stop for one moment to think about his kids through any of this. He thought about his pride. He thought about money. That's right. He's one of those fucking idiots that thinks I'm fucking Rain Man. And if he throws stuff at me with numbers in it, that I'll magically be able to magic him up some magic money. What a fucking fud. Shit, Elmer J is smarter than my dad. Now there's a building right there, and just on the other side of the building is where that guy's trying to sleep. And of course, there's a big old pile of tweaker bullshit right next to him. How do you get help in this? How do you get help in this situation? You don't. You just take the abuse. That's everybody's advice. Just take the abuse. If anything even remotely similar happens to them, they've got people they can go to that'll help them turn it in. For me, I have to wait for a fucking appointment. It wasn't just the Bollingers and the police that made this an impossible endeavor. It was also the people who claimed to be my friends. The people who claimed that they were going to help me. They never did. If you're not speaking up, you're not helping. Here we are, 6 years later. I'm glad that those people are not a part of my life anymore. People who chose drugs over their own families, what the hell are they going to do for me? People who chose alcohol over their own families, what good are they going to do for me? In what way are they going to help me by being fucking junkies and acting like junkies? I got no place to go. As far as turning this stuff in, there is stuff that we could turn in. Tobacco. But it all comes down to people making the time. It's tough to do when you're in survival mode, and I get that. But the fact is, I'm stuck in survival mode since I hurt my back in 2015. What a great fucking birthday present, right? There was a couple of months there where I didn't want to blow my fucking head off. That's because Natalie Bollinger and Maddie Boa. But they're both junkies. And of course, we're in America where we're supposed to feel bad for the fucking junkies, but not their fucking victims. Fuck that. Yeah, I feel bad for you. You're a fucking junkie. You're addicted to shit. You fucking sell your own goddamn family to get that shit. You sell every tool that they ever fucking earned to get that shit and not give a fuck. But God bless America, right? Oh, we'll actually go straight here. And you get to hear from people like Ariana. These are all people I went to for help. I don't have anybody sober to go to for help because they don't help. They make excuses and they talk over you just like the alcoholics. There's not much fucking difference. Playing stupid is playing stupid whether you're drunk, sober, or fucking cracked out of your goddamn mind. Oh, I hate having to go this way because we got a bunch of one-ways and a bunch of little median islands that make it fucking impossible to just turn around back there and go the other way. I plan on going the direction of Fred Meyer's and seeing if there's anybody down in that general direction that, of course, with Molly not hanging out down there, that's a much safer place for me to be. And with a whole bunch of meth heads down there by the other park, and, you know, 2 of them are gone right now, but with them hanging out down there, what kind of trouble is that going to bring me? The cops have already shown that they're going to blow me off and make any excuses that they possibly can if I have to speak to them alone. And folks just want to trade story time, which drives me nuts. If you're gonna If you're gonna tell me your stories, let's turn that shit in. If you're gonna tell me people are threatening your fucking life, then turn that shit in. If you're gonna use people threatening your life as an excuse not to keep your word, keep in mind that, well, I was explaining that folks was getting a hold of me and letting me know that folks was threatening to kill him, and got treated like I was schizophrenic for it. Well, that's kind of like every other situation. I've got the evidence, but the evidence doesn't make any fucking difference without you fucking speaking up. Because my predators are fucking cops. Cops didn't want to do their jobs as mandated reporters. Same as Donna down there at the Seventh-day Adventist. Just like Eileen down there at the First Christian Church. Of course, these are people who, by their own admission, are mandated reporters, where, of course, that lady from Tides of Change is apparently not. When somebody is at risk of being abused by police, as everyone out here who is homeless has to be afraid of, somebody needs to fucking step in. These government agencies that we're paying this fucking money to, and we're paying our taxpayer dollars to. More boots on the ground? No, how about fucking boots that do what they're supposed to? Here I am running around. I don't have the ability to make the money that I need to keep the things that I have. I have to come up with almost $1,000 this month. Just so that at the end of the month, maybe I might be able to keep my fucking car and my evidence. Out of all of the years that I've been speaking out on YouTube and Facebook, not once did anybody ever help me to turn this shit in. Not once. Not Mandy Singer, not Mandy Hughes, not one goddamn person. The thing is, these people gaslighting me and pulling the bullshit that they've been pulling, it's illegal as fuck, but only if you care. Only if you care to look. Am I fucking telling the truth or not? Oh yeah, you can't figure that out, can you? Because you won't look at the fucking evidence, you fucking cowards. You want something done about the crimes committed against you, but you're not going to do a goddamn thing to help the other victims, are you? You're going to take. And then you're going to tell the other victims they wanted it, needed it, chose it, or deserved it. You're going to offer them the help that they need. But then when they get there, you're going to take advantage of them, give them a fucking sandwich, and then throw it in their face that you gave them a fucking sandwich. Yeah, a sandwich is totally the same as turning in my fucking predators. A sandwich is totally the same as looking at evidence and helping me turn it in. Oh yeah, but that's not what I got, was it? No, people didn't keep their word. And sandwich makes it fine. Oh, we did something nice for them. That doesn't make up for not doing your job and not keeping your word. Like them fucking pigs. Oh, there we go. It's been sitting for a good 10 minutes on a pile of clothing. It should not be boiling over like a witch's cauldron. Unfortunately, it's a warm RC Cola. Bonjour.
Yeah, racing around.
No, I was gonna and go see that other guy down there, and also show what the tweakers did to the park down there.
Oh,
They left fucking piles of foilies and half-burnt garbage all over the goddamn place.
oh shit.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
it makes it bad for all of us. Every time something like that happens, it affects public opinion. And they
Right.
don't go after the person who did it. They just blame all of us. The homeless did it.
Right.
It's your fault, Lewis.
Yeah. Sure is.
I didn't even see you down there, but somehow it's got to be your fault you're homeless.
All right.
And you know what? If there's any fires in this town or any robberies in this town, of course that must be the fault of anybody out here who's homeless.
Yeah.
Any keys that somebody might have misplaced must be the fault of the homeless.
Crazy.
Anybody who ends up murdered or killed or disappeared must have been the homeless who done it.
It's a cool little car.
It is.
How long you have this?
It'll be a year in November.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, except I can't pay the bills on it. If my evidence gets taken, then I'm screwed. That's the problem with trying to get people to help. You know, a lot.
On it.
I don't know anything on it. The problem is that it's the plates are good and the insurance is good, but I need to come up with almost $70 for insurance. I got to come up with whatever it's going to take to change it over and plate it in this city or in this state. I got to try to figure out how to get my ID changed over and all of that crap. And meanwhile, I need somebody to go in with me for all of that.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get some ID too. I lost my other billfold, my ID and my
Yeah.
my food stamp card was in it too.
And another thing, people keep trying to push me to get one of them phones because I got food stamps and disability. Like, no, I had food stamps and disability. I had help. I had zero help keeping it. Nobody would help me with the paperwork. I didn't have a fucking address to have it sent to. People don't understand that while I'm busy out here being victimized, I am not able to take care of myself. I'm too busy trying to do something about getting myself somewhere safe.
Right.
And this ain't it.
General delivery.
Yep, and that would work. The problem is with all of the shit that I've been going through and all of that, like I need someone to go with me to those things, and I need to stop the victimization so that I'll even remember I have stuff like that going on, because I have to be busy 24 hours a day trying to turn in the goddamn predators, because if I don't, they do it again and again and again. I mean, that guy there, not just the other two people that he screamed that shit at, but the fact that he has done it on multiple occasions.
Yeah, he's a trip.
Molly's worse. She talks nice. Like, you know, that's the thing. You guys observing that lady talks nice. She certainly does. That's part of manipulation. That's why I need people to look at the evidence instead of just believe whoever talks nice.
Right.
And of course, with the cops, anything that I do, they're going to pretend is schizophrenic unless someone actually verifies it, unless someone actually looks at it and hears it.
You got videos of it.
Yeah, but I don't have anybody who's going in with me to verify it.
Huh.
They just pretend that I'm schizophrenic. It's not like you and Cheryl going in together. I'm alone.
Right. Well, we're here for you. We're about to go over to the stall.
Yes, sir.
Go get some tobacco. Keep an eye on the rigs.
All right.
All right.
And if it starts barking, you just tell him hush to.
Yeah, tell them hush.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good. I thank him for letting us know when people are around. 'Cause
Yeah.
we want to hear
Yeah.
that.
Because I put my curtain up. And you can't see out. You can't see in.
Well,
He'll growl.
When he got up after that lady last night, she was fucking terrified. She was crying and everything.
He can be a wicked one.
Well, he wasn't going to let her move, but he wasn't going to bite her. I let him know that he needed to chill, and he did.
Right.
He stayed there till I got close enough to grab the leash and allow her to walk off, but she did the right thing by not moving.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Oh my.
Hold.
Yeah, he could have.
He's fast.
Yeah,
He's super
that's
fast.
weird how he got out. Must have been tied or something.
No, he did that before.
Well,
I put like 4 knots on it at one time.
I can still dominate a dog even as gimpy as I am, but that's just because I know how to get a hold of them so you can.
Yeah.
If you don't get them right, then you could injure them or they could severely injure you.
Right.
And one day there was another pit bull. We were right here, and his pit bull was down there loose, and the people were chasing it.
Oh yeah.
Then he came up here,
It came down here.
or some,
Ran right by here.
and Stotchen was out
stopped
here.
by that garage down there, and turned around and started to run back this way towards Stotchen. Oh boy, was I running trying to get him inside.
Yeah. Then
You know?
the dog came to my door because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
seen Stotchen. I got a hold of him, and the people got him. But I mean, oh, did he get in trouble? That would
Right.
have been quite a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay,
want.
come on.
We
Let's
don't
go.
want.
I don't have any tobacco or any weed to share, but if I did, I would. And
We're
thank
gonna
you
go
very
get
much
some
for the
tobacco
soda.
right now. We back in there.
This is kind of neat because we can walk to the store.
Right? Absolutely. Oh shit, that ain't smart. My soda pop. Before Natalie was killed, Natalie was not my prime concern. My prime concern was turning in the people who were threatening me, harassing me, threatening to kill me, threatening to kill my family. That was my prime concern. Stopping the victimization. But it doesn't matter, does it? I can't possibly be the victim. I have a penis. When I explain to people what a serious situation it is, you get to hear them blowing me off like it's no big thing. Or they start telling their stories, and I do ask them, do you want something done about it? I don't tell you my stories to trade fucking stories. I'm telling you my story because I need help. When you guys can verify a part of it as in you were there, that's different. When I needed these people to speak up about what they were there for. Instead, they wanted to throw shit in my face that they weren't there for. Tabitha Michelle Cook did that. Any excuse will do. And every one of them grasped at straws. For police officers to work across multiple jurisdictions to prevent a man from taking his predators to court is fucking disgusting. Y'all want to make the excuse of, oh, well, look what they had to work with. They had a lot to fucking work with. A lot. They had a shit ton to work with. The problem is that's not what they worked with. The problem is that public pretenders weren't going to do their jobs unless there was some sort of public outcry. There wasn't. The public cried out for me to be harmed for things that never fucking happened. And to this day, I am harmed over things that never fucking happened. To this day, I have never been allowed to show evidence. I have never been allowed to face my accusers. I have never been allowed a day in court. I cannot call any of these things that have happened days in court. I can only call them Nazism at its finest. You guys don't deserve a goddamn thing that you have. You want to talk about the Constitution, but you don't know shit about it. You want to make excuses to victimize the victims out here on the streets. Meanwhile, you're lucky you're not out here with us already. I didn't make you the coward that you are. I didn't make you into an alcoholic. I didn't make you into a meth addict. I didn't turn you into a heroin addict. I didn't rape any of you. I didn't molest any of you. I didn't kill any of you. But rightly, I should have killed every one of those pieces of shit. I should have killed Joan Hanson. I'm well aware of that. I should have killed Scott DaCosta. I'm well aware of that. I should have killed Leslie Snell. I am well aware of that. I should have killed Christopher Kurth. I am well aware of that. I should have killed all of these people. I should have killed Robert Franklin Warnick. I should have. You guys are forever telling me what I should have done. But all of your options are fucking violent. If you want Leslie Snell dead, you shoot her yourself. I don't want nothing to do with the bitch. I want her in prison. If you want Scott DaCosta dead, you're going to have to pull the fucking trigger yourself. That's pretty fucking simple. That's not complicated. If you want Tim Beeson dead, you're going to have to pull the trigger yourself. I don't even have the means to go through the evidence. It all takes money, every bit of it. But even with money, without you guys speaking up, your $50 fucking 6 months ago is not going to get me unfucking homeless. No matter how much your dumbass wants to, well, throw your common goddamn sense out the window. Oh yeah, you never had it. It's not common. You want to stab me in the back and then bitch that I speak up about it? You are a fucking idiot. You poor dearie. Oh, poor you. Natalie Bollinger is dead because she fucking deserves it. She deserved to die. Just like the rest of you. The problem is when we've got a court system that prevents homeless males from being allowed to defend themselves or show evidence, it doesn't matter how good a person you may pretend to be, you're not. With me sitting here and making sure nobody fucks with their vehicles, they're able to safely go to the grocery store, which is nice. Oh my god. I found half a snipe here. One of them rollies is from earlier.
You got your tobacco bag thingy?
Yeah, oh, my In God We Trust, or God Bless You thing, yeah.
I can hook you up with some here.
I can't find that roll, that, you gave me 2 rolling papers earlier, I can only...
I got some other ones. We just got another book of them. Next time we want to get a big bag of tobacco.
Right.
I've been buying these though, and they work, for a few days.
I was gonna try going panhandling today, but it didn't work out so good because it ended up being a hurry up and wait thing.
Oh no. What?
You know how it is. People end up, they got their own thing going on and they expect things to go smoothly and then they don't go smoothly. And then
Right.
no matter what they intended on doing, I'm stuck in the hurry up and wait thing.
Oh no. Yeah.
Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Kind of like when I was in Virginia, there was a guy named Brett Roloff. He was going to help me, but then he was all strung out on meth and digging through his own feces, trying to find the bag of meth that he was already overdosing on. Like, yeah, dude, you're already overdosing. That bag is not going to be found with anything in it except shit.
That's nasty.
Yep. But he was supposed to be helping me. That was his idea of help, I guess. But he kept on doing that. Every time he was gonna. Next thing I know, he's disappearing for 24 hours trying to escape his girlfriend. Meanwhile, she knows where he's at every second of the day because she's tracking his phone.
Oh wow.
It was in her name.
Good trip, yeah.
Yep. He and I aren't friends anymore because he found out that there's a video of him going through his own dookie on the internet. Like, yeah, dude,
That's
you
just
know.
nasty.
It is. But the other thing is he wants to pretend like I'm a bad person for posting it up. No, that's the reality of the situation.
Right.
My friend who was going to help me was too fucked up on meth to help.
Wow.
He made things worse by being fucked up on meth. And you know what? It would have been nice if he'd have told me before I wasted the time to go there. And there's a lot of people that helped me out monetarily, but were aware of what was going on in the situation. Like Brandon Ratner. He knew a lot more than he let on, but too busy chasing tail. Yeah. I get it's lonely out here, but if you're gonna let a friend of yours go down and be fucking victimized over and over and over again because you're too busy chasing tail to tell the truth, that's just dumb. And don't get me wrong, he spent a lot of money. He bought me a bus ticket so I could go from California all the way to Tennessee.
Cool.
Yep, that's where Brett Roloff was living, Bristol, Virginia, but it's a border town. Half of it's in Tennessee and half of it's in Virginia. And the bus station is on the Tennessee side.
That's where Loretta Lynn was from, Tennessee.
Or who was?
Loretta Lynn.
Well, it's the...
She just passed away, I guess, at the beginning of this month.
Oh, very cool. Is she famous for something?
Country western singer.
Oh, that's where it was all started. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. She is really awesome.
Nah, I knew who Loretta Lynn was. I just never got into yodeling.
And Patrick Klein.
That's yodeling.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to smoke one when the tobacco's kind of still intact. When you're putting tobacco dust together, you end up getting a throat full of...
Yeah, it's harsh. Then the cherries fall off.
I had like 4 people offer me weed today, but I didn't want to take it because I'm not against smoking weed. I'm just not going to smoke fentanyl or meth. And I've had people put stuff or found stuff in the weed twice already here. So yeah,
Really?
I'm not down. Yep.
Oh, weird.
I told you about the one guy who gave me the bud and it had crystals on it, and I went and talked to him. He said it's meth. I just put it in the wrong bag.
That's creepy.
It is.
That's a good way to get someone hooked.
That's a good way to get someone killed.
Yeah, that too. Was that? Oh, I thought that was the owl. No.
Oh, you can see that guy's vehicle now. It's still parked over there where he was.
Mm-hmm.
He had his lights on earlier, turned them on as I was driving by. I was like, fuck. That's how I figured out he was there.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, he's lighting something in there.
Mm-hmm. Probably dope.
I wouldn't doubt it. Although I don't get why he doesn't just hang out with those other dope heads at the other park. They probably ran him off.
You know, it's probably true. You know, for how weird he is. He's really weird.
I think it's okay to be weird. It's not okay to be fucking twacked out of your gourd and threatening to assault people and threatening to kill people and getting up in their face and accusing them of fucking messing around with heroin and
That's what he does too.
yeah.
He's trying to get right up in the face.
Well, that girl he was talking about, Brisa, I still haven't seen her. I haven't seen her
She
since
was
that
at
day.
that meal that one night, wasn't she? Sitting on the sidewalk or in front of the church.
No, that was the girl that he was saying was his sister. Brisa is supposed to be his daughter, I guess. I don't know. What I do know is with him fucking creeping out like that and flipping his shit and then going and eating like it's all fine and dandy. If his daughter was fucking actually missing, he wouldn't be going in and eating all fine and fucking dandy.
Right.
It's kind of like all these people telling me their friends and family and kids were fucking threatened. Like, if they were really threatened, wouldn't you come forward?
Yeah. You have to.
That's what I don't get. These people trying to pretend that I'm a horrible monster for telling the truth. And I got video after video, and I don't mind showing them to anybody who's willing to look. The problem is getting people to look.
Right.
You ain't even cold yet.
I got my coat on. It's a hunting coat. I put all my shotgun shells in my pockets. I got sleeves. I got sleeves for 5 in each pocket.
I got a bow and arrows. If there's an emergency, I'll use them.
Right.
Get myself a damn dinner.
I got me a cheater bar.
Well,
I got my chainsaw too.
The cheater bar and the bow are for different reasons, though. Like, the bow is for getting dinner. The cheater bar is for when people put their nasty cock beaters on you.
I used to tell people this. I did it a few times. Well, more than a few. Up in Marysville, Lake Stevens. I fired up a couple chainsaws and went running down the trail. Had them wide open. I go, you like your fucking legs? Because they come up and stole all her Gatorades, like 2 cases of her Gatorades, and they stole one of her chairs out by the fire pit. And then there was another guy at Salvation Army. He was always messing with the ladies, being just a creep. He'd go up and grab them and stuff. And I fired up the chainsaw. I go, come across the street. You like your legs, you know? It's
Well, that's the thing, is if I threaten my predators back, I go to jail.
right.
Because it's somehow magically not civil if I do it back. Or if they illegally arrest me on bullshit and prevent me from going to court. See, they've been taking advantage of the fact that I'm disabled and overwhelmed for, well, since 2015. Being disabled, I was able to handle that somewhat, but the fact is, as soon as my back was hurt and I was no longer able to do all the physical labor that I did to help people out, they just forgot I existed. And then they get a hold of me later on, many years later, saying, man, you were always the coolest guy. What happened, man? Well, you should probably pay attention. When people's behaviors change that drastically and people are literally screaming at the top of their lungs like that, it's probably because they're being fucking abused.
Right.
And that's the thing. Every one of my friends, knowing this, still went out of their way to look the other way. With that guy pulling his bullshit. You know, there's those 3 lies that you can tell. If you're a woman and you get busted destroying somebody's life, you either say that he stalked you, he molested you, or he raped you. And any one of those will work. And now here's the problem, is that we've got, all right, Hood River, for example, I recorded at least seven separate situations where women there who are homeless were accusing their boyfriends of rape. And then the next day, they're friends with the boyfriend, and I asked, what's up? Oh, well, she wanted meth, and I didn't have any. Holy shit, that's fucked up.
That's a messed up charge.
It is, but at the same time, those guys can't defend themselves against it. They're fucking homeless.
Right.
That woman has got him by the balls at that point. One of them, his girlfriend was pregnant. So she's pregnant. She's accusing him of raping her. And then her brother punches him in the fucking head. He's trying to get to the hospital. Meanwhile, I'm not in any sort of condition at that point to drive him to the hospital. No room in my vehicle.
Right.
And it was all because she wanted to say that he raped her because he didn't give her what she wanted. And that is so prevalent. There's a lot of this stuff where the numbers were skewed, where it was basically showing that women are always the victims and men are always the fucking predators. But now we got Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff where we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women getting on there showing exactly what we've been saying all along. Women ain't always the victims.
Right.
Most of the violence is started by women. Most physical violence between men and women is started by women.
That's what happened to me with the cast iron skillets and the boots. It was my ex. She didn't drink. I didn't drink for like 7 years. Then her sons followed her up from Fresno, up on the Amtrak, and they showed up in Port Angeles, and they were Fresno Bulldogs. And they drank, and they got her drinking. She came up and she stunk like really strong whiskey and something else, you know. I was like, then they just wanted to fight. I was like, it's crazy. I gave them a home. I bought them a Jeep. I gave them like 3-4 different jobs. They paid like 20 an hour, and I still got treated like that. I got beat down. That's stupid. Over whiskey or whatever, you know.
My friends wanted to tell me the same thing that everybody out here tells me. The same shit that you tell a man who's abused. Just get over it. Just let it go. Just move on. Why don't you try just moving away? Just stay away from them.
Right.
But it
That's
doesn't
what
work.
I did. I go, because
When you're able to, that's fine. When you're not able to, you're not able to. And people telling you that is hurtful because they're not trying to understand that you're not capable. You can't do it. It's like telling somebody in a wheelchair that they need to go up 20 flights of stairs. Yeah, it's stupid.
Right. Yeah, we had some hoggers come up from Forks. They were going to kill them family. And they go, what do you want us to do? And I go, just leave them alone. Let the man upstairs deal with them, you know?
Well,
I'm not going to deal with that on me.
here's the thing is that everybody else's idea is to beat them down, to chase them around, to shoot them, so on and so forth. And everybody says, well, if that happened to me, I'd do this and I'd do that. You know what you should do? You should shoot them. You know, you should just shoot them. You know, if you just killed them. And that's everybody's fucking solution for every goddamn thing. I'm like, hey, I need help turning them in, okay? Shooting them ain't gonna do any goddamn good.
Let someone else deal with it, you know?
If I could, I would. I've been trying to get help. I'm still taking the abuse. All of the abuse that I'm enduring is because I can't take care of myself. I can't take care of myself because of abuse. It's a vicious circle. Until someone says, hey, this is enough. This dude has been through enough. You need to fucking leave him alone. You need to give him back what you've already taken from him and allow him a fucking place of his own instead of victimizing him. Like if I had somebody in my corner, I could get literally millions of dollars for what's done to me. But everybody's too busy drinking, too busy smoking dope, too busy looking for the next vagina or the next available penis. It makes it impossible. I'm told that I need to go to my friends and family and they're supposed to help me with this, but my friends and family, they're not taking it seriously. They don't give a shit if I'm abused. They want to give advice, but no actual help. And a lot of them, they don't even, it's not a matter of giving advice. It's a matter of them being in control, them wanting to show that they're in control, that they are the boss, that I'm the retard and they're the master, and as a result, I owe it to them to lay down and take all of this abuse. That's just ignorant speaking. If my dad had his way, I'd be dead already. If I wasn't so smart, I'd be dead already. But before I can do anything about the civil stuff, I need to be able to turn in the crimes against me. And again, that takes someone going in with me who's informed of the situation.
What do? You go to a detective or something?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing with me having to go through it by myself, is that all the stuff that they tell me, they send me around in circles, and then I look it up. I know the route that I'm supposed to take to turn them in, but they've already cut off that route by the time I get there. And literally, if I had someone to go in with me to begin with, we'd never had any of these issues to begin with. When you go in by yourself,
I would say get like well, it's kind of weird. Public defender.
no, that doesn't
But
work. I need
within
no. Time out. Time out. None of these people who get government dollars are going to do their jobs unless someone goes in with the victim, especially if the victim is a homeless and disabled male. If nobody goes in with the victim, they blow the victim off.
It has to be a detective.
No, it wouldn't have to be a detective. It just needs to be turned in. Somebody needs to be able to go in and say, yes, this is actually happening. I have seen the evidence. I was there for this situation and this situation.
Or we've been through it too.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, all right, for example, with that guy pulling his bullshit, I was trying to show you the stuff with Natalie, and also that was going on with that guy, and also with the Molly situation, because those are all three things that I am being victimized over in this town as we speak. The fact that I'm living in my vehicle without assistance, the fact that my disability was taken away because I didn't have assistance, the fact that everybody in these government agencies keeps trying to push me off to friends and family. I don't have any. My friends and family are just going to keep on asking me who it is that we need to go to. I don't know. Maybe they'll be more direct and more straightforward if someone calls with me. But if I have to explain that 5,000 times, which I've probably explained it 5,000 times, it's been 6 years of this, with me having to go in by myself, I need someone to care enough to go in with me, and somebody who cares enough to look at the evidence before going in. When it comes to all these, well, yeah, but it's not going to be just one agency that we go in and talk to. It'll end up being going around in circles and having to speak up about going around in circles. Because we already know that's what they're going to do. That's what they've been doing. But I'm more likely to get help if someone goes in with me. If you guys are able to go in with me, that's great. But I mean, I do realize that every time I'm trying to show you stuff, you guys do have your own lives that you're dealing with, your own stuff that you're jumping through. And of course, she tells me about the situations with you and how you have to get your stuff done. If we went in together, it'd be a lot easier. That's the thing about safety in numbers, and it's the thing about government triage. If you were to go in by yourself for any of these services, you'd be denied for most of them. If she was to go in for those services, she'd be denied for most of them, but she'd be eligible for more than you are because she's a woman. Now, if you go in with her, she's got about a 50% chance of getting help. If she goes in with you, you got about a 50% chance of getting help just because you two are together.
Yeah, she used to work for the government too.
Yeah, and she was saying that.
She was over Bremerton, Navy time.
Yep, it is
She
too.
got secret clearances and stuff. It's a trip.
I got a lady I went to school with in Chapel. She's got special clearances with Boeing.
Yeah, it's a trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
She's not like some top secret agent man or anything like that. She works with sensitive materials as far as the aircraft industry goes. So you have to have.
That's what she did. She found stuff. She found parts and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what Caroline does.
It's really trippy. That'd be pretty neat.
I'm surprised at the number of people that I was teaching about airplanes and got into airplanes and was talking about airplanes with. They got into the aircraft industry.
That's cool.
Caroline Coffee went into the airline industry or aircraft construction industry. So did what's her name? Caitlin Tatum. Quite a few others. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Well, I'm gonna check on my lady.
All right.
Jump in my van.
If you guys are really willing to help me turn it in, I've got the evidence. I'm willing to sit down and show it with you, so you know what we're going in about, and so that you're actually you can verify that the evidence exists.
For sure. Yeah.
If you guys are able to do that tomorrow,
And she was talking about that too.
badass.
Yeah.
If I'm able
Because
to
we're
get,
one. We're just one man. Like, if I do something, she's gonna do it.
if
If
I,
she's doing something, I'm gonna do it.
and that's one of the important things for me too is safety in numbers. If there's two of you, that increases it greatly.
Yeah.
The other thing is with you being honest about your drinking and all that, that definitely helps out in the long run, because then it's not stuff that's popping up later that people are trying to throw in your face as if you're a monster, because you haven't been a monster for
Oh,
damn sure.
I'm almost done drinking. I've cut so much out, it's not even funny. I don't even buy cases anymore, half racks. Once in a while, I'll buy a half rack of hams because it's like water.
Yeah,
But I can't afford to buy coolers because it's so expensive. But that's even more water, right? And look how
Yeah.
expensive it is. It's just water. It's a way to cut out my drinking, taking that volume down.
taking it down from a 7% or 7.2 down to 3.2.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Way down there. Yeah, looks like he came back.
Well,
Brought him a meal
people
earlier.
who admit their addictions and admit their issues and their problems, they're more likely to understand that those issues do affect others, and that's usually what brings them to that point of thinking.
Oh, yeah.
But when you've got somebody who doesn't think they've got a problem, or doesn't want to see that their alcoholism creates problems for those around them, or that they're not helpful when they're drunk, or of course that goes for any addiction,
Yeah, yeah.
you
I
know.
did treatment on my own too. Graduated a couple times. Just I'm kind of going to the meetings here at CR. They're nice, but they listen.
Well, in Hardin, Montana, I know that going to treatment, the folks up there, they talk about treatment kind of like it's going on a vacation. Like, I'm going back to treatment. I was at treatment twice last year. I've already been to treatment twice this year. It's going on retreat. It's going on vacation. And it's strange to me to hear it spoken of that way, but that's how hard the addiction is, especially on the reservations.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't like adding gas to my fire.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I'm quitting. Just, if I got too much other stuff I just need to do. Need to get off the street. Need to get another job.
I used to help people get off the streets. That's literally what I did. That's the reason that I know what help people need to get off the streets, myself included.
Right.
But also, I can't do my job if I don't have somebody to defend me and help to protect me from abuse long enough for me to reestablish myself.
Right.
I'm constantly moving from one place to another, and when you've got uh, when you've got cops who will actually work with you, which ain't very often,
Right.
then that does help out the situation. But when you end up with cops like what we got here in Tillamook, or what they got in the Dalles, or what they got in Hood River, or what they got in Boulder, Colorado, or Chapel, Nebraska, like, we don't stand a chance.
Uh-huh.
And as far as turning in predators goes, unless we have somebody go in with us, that's the only thing that keeps the cops straight, is somebody going in with you. Any opportunity they get where they can cut you off and separate you from from their other victims at that point. Somebody like me who's prone to having panic attacks over abuse, and knowing their tactics and them wanting to separate me every time and then continue to use those tactics, I need somebody who can be there and understands the tactics and will talk to them accordingly. If they try to victimize me, somebody who will actually stand up and speak up. That lady over at Tides of Change, her name's
Oh, his battery's dead.
Monica, I think, and She ended up being useless.
So,
Hold on, let me take a drink of this. If his car's dead, I'll go charge him. That's your friend in the pickup, right?
yeah, he owns that cruiser. PT, I think he sleeps in the passenger side in the back of the PT cruiser, but that's his pickup though. So
Well, it did sound like he tried to click it over and it didn't start. So I'll
yeah,
walk over. You want to walk over with me
he's
since you
really
know him?
cool. I put his starter in his truck for him. Took his old one out, put a new one in.
Well, since it sounded like he tried starting it, it might be dead. We could go
It's
ask him real quick.
I can grab my beer.
All right. Hotel guest?
Yeah.
With the hotel guest, when I clicked on hotel guest,
Yeah.
it wouldn't let me log in, and then it pulled up the login thing, and it wanted my name and my address and my email address. That way they could verify it, and then they asked for the code for my room, which I didn't have one.
Oh, it must be new.
It might be,
Yeah.
or it might just be that my.
Because we'd show up there and we'd be on our phones.
How long ago?
Or 6 months ago.
Well, that makes sense. I was gonna say if it was just a few days ago, then it's changed since the last time I tried, but
Yeah, it probably did.
All right. Well,
All
you
right.
can't be having a bunch of hobos parking out back using your internet.
You have a good evening.
You too. Good night. Oh. All right. So the gentleman that has the vehicle over there, he was having problems starting it, so we heard correctly. But he also said he's got it covered, so it's okay. He doesn't want to try jumping it tonight. I gotta try to drive down by Fred Meyer's. I was gonna do that earlier, but decided that since my check engine light was on, I should probably pull over because it means my vehicle's overheating. The only reason it's doing that much of an issue with overheating is because well, the whole fucking vehicle is overweight and, well, it's sinking real bad in the back. Oh, yes, I got a light. Where the fuck are my damn keys? I heard them fall. Ah, there we go. All right. I'm really trying hard not to have a severe panic attack right now, but, well, life is what it is, ain't it? We got my keys off the ground, so we shouldn't have too much issue with them. Alright. Anyway, yeah, the whole world's going to hell in a handbag, ain't it? There's a recording from earlier today where a young man and a young woman were having an altercation publicly. And, I did say something. And, of course, the young lady wanted to tell me to mind my business, which, you know, I can get that. I can understand that. I also know that it makes us all look bad. When we get involved in a situation like that, you may not make anybody fucking happy in that situation. But the fact is, between that altercation becoming more physically domineering and those people going their separate ways, they both went their separate ways. Maybe they'll both cool off and then have a decent human conversation about it. Maybe not. Just because you're going to allow somebody to physically assault you in public and get away with it doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with those safety issues happening within my proximity. There was also the woman last night, like way early this morning maybe. But it might have been last night. I'm not sure exactly what time it was. But she was over there and she was trying to get help. You damn right I went over there with my camera. let them know that no means no. Because it does. And although that lady was still yelling at the dude to get away from her, she was walking away from me pretty quickly. There's no way I was going to be able to follow, being as my back is as fucked up as it is. But I saw her earlier, and she waved at me. Big old smile, too. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. Alright. Let's see if we got it. No, that's not it. Yep. Hot enough to turn this on. That way we can get all the fog from me breathing off the damn windshield. Got all my electronics plugged in, including my external batteries. That way, if I end up with absolutely zero gas, I've still got access to get on my telephone. We'll see how things go, right? Alright, so I'm gonna end this video now, and I'm gonna try to listen to some tunes. I'm also gonna make sure I take a left, so I can avoid that asswife who wants to make my life hell.